My name is Tyboo, and I am a bit of a gamer. That's right, in 2023 I played a couple of games. And today I will be ranking them for you and offend absolutely no one. Now these are not games that came out in 2023, these are games that I played in 2023. So yes, it also includes stuff like League of Legends and Fortnite. Now quick note, a year is a long time. Brain does not remember a long time. Brain remembers short time. Actually, Brain doesn't even remember dinner last night. Biden, blast! If you're somehow a very loyal viewer that says like, hey Tyboo, you actually also played that game. I'm sorry, I forgot. I don't know why, I'm almost ashamed mentioning that I played this game, but I did. It's the truth. Okay, I played Fortnite. And Fortnite is a solid B.
You like jazz?
And a B is not bad, okay? It's like right there in the middle. Now, I like Fortnite. I like the skins, I like the gameplay, I like the updates, I like the way it looks, it's gorgeous. I even like the gameplay. Zero build.
Huzzah! A man of quality!
Now, of course, I don't have to explain to you what VRs are. Fighting for that ever-elusive Victory Royale. But then you get the Victory Royale.
Now what?
It's kind of the same as, like, for example, let's say you log into an MMORPG for the first time and you see that amazing armor like the highest level players are wearing, and then you get to that level and you get the armor and, you know, you've grinded everything and you're just like, okay, shit, what now? But of course, with the MMORPG example, this is about 2,000 hours later, whereas with Fortnite, it's about 2 hours later. So yeah, as much as a great game I think it is, I'd just drop it faster than fucking dad dropped me when I was a child. Okay, if I start talking about every game like this video is gonna take a while. Let's get some easy ones out of the way first, right? Like non-controversial ones. Let's just fire them off. Bolt gun, A tier. Goes fast, shoots fast, sounds good, looks good, very nice. Same with Darkest Dungeon 2. Great game. Looks good, sounds good, feels good, good game. Love it. Put it on A, but not much more to say about that one. Same with Potion Craft actually. Might be a little unknown game to some of you. Very chill game. People still get bored of it very fast. I didn't. Love it. A tier. Peglin, another easy peasy A tier. You're dropping funny balls and before you know it, you missed your arms wedding. God of War, finally get around playing it. The hype almost ruined it for me, but it's still a solid A tier. I played it, it looked great, you know, the thing, throwing the thing, catching the thing. Very nice, as I was told. Never played any of the old God of War games, but that didn't stop me from having a great time with it. Okay, that's where I end the lightning round. I gotta talk about these games, man. I have to talk about this. I don't bottom mic, you know, to not talk into it. So let's talk about Baldurs Gate. S tier. Obviously, like, come on. And I don't like, you know, being on the bandwagon and being like, oh yeah, everybody loves this game, I should too, right? But after playing it for about 100 hours, being neck deep in Act 3, still not finished the game, it is easy to see why this is so beloved by so many people. You know, fucking Dungeons and Dragons fans and casual, ignorant fucks like me alike. Baldur's Gate is easily the next step in role-playing as far as like interaction and relationships in a video game goes. As much as, let's say, like the graphics in Red Dead Redemption 2 are like the next thing. Speaking of Red Dead Redemption 2, I feel like right now, it's over there, you know, all pretty inoffensive takes. But here he comes. Seeing Red Dead Redemption 2 below Fortnite, it looks bad, I know. Red Dead Redemption 2 is great on a surface level, looks gorgeous, right? The amount of polish that game has is unthinkable. If you had Baldur's Gate with the polish of Red Dead Redemption 2, society would never be the same. But no matter how much you polish a turd, it is still a turd. I made a very long video on this on the second channel that you should check out as to why I was not a big fan of Red Dead Redemption 2, but I'll try and give you the TLDR here. Basically, game is gorgeous, but the story felt like it just didn't matter. Even though the world looked so real, nothing you mattered had any impact on the game whatsoever. The gameplay does not change from minute 1 to hour 80, because this is a long game and it's 80 hours of just doing the same thing. And maybe that's my zoomer brain talking, but like I wish there was something there. And there's no levels, there's no progression. You can buy different guns, but it's still just guns, and still shoot them, and there's no difference. Shooting the first revolver you get and like buying the best revolver and shooting it again, not much difference. But of course, the strength lies in its amazing open world and all the side missions therein. But still, it didn't captivate me after those initial 20 hours. Let's get another B out there. How about Cult of the Lamb? Now, Cult of the Lamb I just bought or got gifted. Once again, brain long, no good. So of course, the great thing about Cult of the Lamb is the Twitch integration. But after like 2 streams of it, it kinda wore off. Also, I don't have the biggest chat. And after 2 streams of this, people kinda stopped interacting. And it kinda just fizzled out. It's not like a bad game. It's just, you know, it's just like Fortnite. I just kinda, you know, it just went to the back of my head and then stayed there forever.
Gone forever!
Now let's get another hot topic out of here. It's behind my camera. Here it comes. Diablo.
He was hitting the monsters around me for 17 damage.
Oh, what a piece of shit. So I only played Diablo on launch. I have not played any of the season expansions, season updates. From what I've heard, they're kind of hit or miss. I'm just gonna judge it on the release day, which I think is just a B. It was fun, it looked good, it was fun to play. The last act of the story was actually really good, in my opinion. But then you make an alt, and you realize the leveling is kinda boring. The bosses are nothing to like look forward to. And just like the other 2 games in this tier, it just kind of fizzled out. I really want to try this again, because I think it's been 2 seasons now. And I want to like, you know, get my own opinion on this. Tell me what you think about Diablo. Is it like worth playing now, or should I still wait, hold off until like an actual expansion drops or something? Now with the next one, I wasn't sure if I should even add it to the list, since I've only played the free trial, and that is World of Warcraft. Once again, I made a whole video on this on the main channel, actually. You can go watch that right now. Great video, obviously. But World of Warcraft was kind of a bit of a disappointment. When you play the first area in Cataclysm, I believe it is, you get dropped in, it's actually great. The sense of exploration is magnificent. I love it. Since I'm used to FF14, where there's like almost 0 overworld interaction, this was great for me. And I was this close to like just getting immersed in the game. But then, you know, of course, they do the whole thing with the expansion. They like basically drop you from the 3rd expansion all the way into the 6th, like Battle for Azeroth. And it just messes up my whole thing, because I wanted to experience the whole game, like the story, you know, the Ragnaros, Illidan, all that stuff. And it just skips everything. So I'm not rating this as somebody who plays World of Warcraft. I'm rating this as somebody who wants to get into World of Warcraft. And I gotta be honest, it's right there with Red Dead Redemption 2. America keeps losing, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. Now, of course, I just mentioned Final Fantasy XIV. I've also played Final Fantasy XIV. And truth to be told, I'm right now waiting for daily resets, waiting to play Final Fantasy XIV. So, of course, my very first thought was like, okay, I've been playing this game for what is like 10 plus years now. Easy S tier. But is it? Because when I was looking for JPEGs for Final Fantasy, of course they showed, it's there, Endwalker. So I was thinking, yeah, just as I ranked World of Warcraft as, you know, my experience with it, I'm gonna rank Endwalker with my experience with it right now, this year. And if you've played FF14, you might have heard, you know, some talking about like, how Endwalker is kind of a weak expansion. And of course, nobody's talking about the story, the great ending to that 10-year-long arc of, what do they call it? Like the Highland Zodiac arc. Amazing, right? I love the dungeons are gorgeous, the raids are fun, like everything is great. Okay? But Final Fantasy XIV is kinda getting a little too comfortable. They found a formula that works, and they are sticking to it almost religiously. Let's say, for example, dungeons, it's always, you know, trash, boss, trash, boss, trash, boss. Nothing interesting there. The past 4 years has always been the exact same thing. It's very pretty, very fun bosses, but, you know, very formulaic. But of course, the biggest offender is the actual rotations of the champions getting dumbed and dumbed down every expansion. Whereas right now we're at like a 2-minute buff meta basically. So every 2 minutes all the buffs align and like you just shit out the buttons. Now if you play FF14, of course there's no bigger offender of this than the Summoner rework, which was known for having a fuck ton of buttons. And then of course what we have right now is just, you literally just press the button when they light up. and that's it. Now, I don't want to get into this too deep. I'm not like a high-end game player myself. I don't do Savage, I don't do Ultimate, right? I do Extremes at most. As great as FF14 is, we are getting like, dangerously close to it becoming kinda stale. Now, we are of course all hoping that Dawn Trail, which is gonna release in about 5 months, long time with no content by the way, but let's hope that Dawn Trail just injects some new life, some crazy stuff into FF14. So that's why it's not getting an S, but it is still getting an A, because it's still a great game, obviously. Talking about great games, have you heard of League of Legends?
Constitution says you do.
You might have. About a week ago, they literally laid off about 10% of their whole company and shut down Riot Forge. That's also on there. So yeah, kinda awkward times to be talking about this. But once again, I did a video on this on the second channel. You should check it out. A tier. Yes, the community is trash. Yes, it is a mentally taxing game. But the game itself, actually pretty good. But let's talk about the other Riot games. The more interesting are the two first. The Ruined King. I think this is one of the first Riot Forge games that was announced, like back when, you know, like the whole Ruination and Viego and stuff. And I played it, start to finish, which you might know is not something that happens commonly. You know, I don't tend to finish games, but I think it was just a solid game. I don't want to give it an A. I love the combat, I love the voice acting, I love the art style. I actually really liked everything about it, especially for like the lower price, and it's clearly like not like, you know, a big budget game, but it's somewhere between like an A and a B. Like I can't give it the same rating as like Bolt Gun, but I also can't give it the same rating as Diablo. So what I'm thinking here is we lower every game like so. Ah, now this is looking... Yes.
You think this is funny?
Yes. Putting Red Dead Redemption in D seems mental, I know. But like, these are still games that I played. They already passed the bar of me playing it. If I hated the game, I wouldn't have played it in the first place. Okay? Please don't kill me. Oh, actually, there is a game I hate. Oh my god, there's a game that I don't like on this list. I'm just gonna put this game into D tier anyway, because I do think it does some things extremely right. And for the right people, this game is just amazing. But for me... Oh... Disco Elesium. Now, I don't know if I've talked about this game on the second channel, but I have been talking about this game on stream quite often. I even played it on stream, I think. And the first hours was actually great. Gorgeous art style, super cool mechanic with the, basically like saving rolls, like D&D style, but with your different fucking schizo personalities in your head. Really cool. But then the game starts pushing you in like a sort of narrative, and you don't really have a choice. Like the options they give you are just not good. I could go into this way more in depth, but I don't want this video to be more than an hour long. So yeah, game wasn't for me, especially dialogue-wise and just the theme the game was going for. I might do a little no script on this on the second channel, but for now, yeah, this was not a game for me. I just realized I completely forgot about Valorant. I said I was going to talk about the two Riot games. Valorant is also a Riot game. Fairly successful one at that. After years at this point of trying, I just have to come to terms with the fact that Valorant is not for me. I will never get used to the control scheme where like you have to stand still to shoot. It feels outdated. It feels like you are fighting against the game. Kind of the same opinion I had of SF5. And this would be a great segue to SF6. But I gotta rank Valorant first. And I'm gonna rank it at C tier. I don't think it's a bad game. It does just blatantly rip off CSGO. CS2. But I do think it does a lot of things right for the right people. Which is not me. Talking about games the right people, fucking Honkai Star Rail Impact. Now, I've played Genshin Impact. That sounds like a confession. Kinda is. And my opinion of this game is the exact same as Genshin Impact. I actually like the gameplay. I actually really like the gameplay. But the more you play these games, the more it feels like you're playing not a game, but just a way to make money. These artificial restrictions that are put on you by the developers just to make you spend more money are ridiculous. I actually like the gacha system as a free player. Using the tools at your disposal, trying to like make the best team you can is actually really fun. Because you're not like dogged down by the fucking meta, like when you have everything, right? Oh, I have to play this fucking team because that's the best. No, like you don't have everybody, so like, you know, you gotta figure it out. I actually kind of like that. But then there's the resin, of course, you know, and then there's an end game where you realize, oh my god, if not for the resin is just there to get this sense that there's an end game, but there's actually nothing there to do. Even though I like grinding for new stats and new gears and like getting perfect rolls on your items, it's really fun. But there's actually nothing to do. Just spend money to actually play the game more, Just spend money to actually get the characters you want. It's not enough game for me. It's too much casino. So I'm gonna put that in a solid D tier. Even though I like the game, even though I think it looks cool, but I just feel like I'm not playing a game. It's not a game. So I can't put it on the fucking game list, can I now? Now, talking about games being no games, there is Yakuza. Now, Yakuza was gifted to me, and I was kind of forced to play it, and I actually enjoyed myself after the fucking 3-hour visual novel was done. I got a whole video on this. Once again, go check it out. Great video. But for one reason or another, I just couldn't get into it. They just couldn't get me to care, like, about anything. And just like Fortnite, just like Diablo, I just stopped playing it. Like, not with like bad intentions, like, I'm gonna stop it. But I just never launched it again. So I'm putting it in C tier. I wonder which one of these is gonna get me more hate. Yakuza in C tier or like Red Dead in D tier. Now let's start talking about some fighting games. So as you may or may not know, Street Fighter 6 did release last year, being a pretty big success, I believe. Now, I've never gotten into Street Fighter. I tried 5th one, did not do it for me. And when my honeymoon phase was over with SF6, because it is a gorgeous game, it looks way better than before, it's very much more dynamic, sexy. But after that, I realized at its core, it is still Street Fighter, which just is, well, let's face it, it's a 40-year-old game. So objectively, I would probably put it around like a high A, but to me, it's a B. Don't get me wrong, it's a really good fighting game. Probably like one of the best ones. Just not for me. I've got very specific taste, and that taste is called Tekken. So, no Tekken on this list because that came out, well, 3 days ago. Tekken is S tier, by the way. Now, since I mentioned Tekken, I might as well mention the other big boy in the room, which is Mortal Kombat. As you can see, there's no MK1 on this list, since I have not played Mortal Kombat 1, which is crazy because Mortal Kombat was actually my first fighting game that I actually enjoyed. From MKX and especially MK11 got me really into fighting games. MK1 just didn't look appealing, so this is what I mentioned earlier with like the tier list. These, like, even though they're D tier, I still decided to play them, so there's still like some appeal to them. Whereas like MK1 didn't even make the list. What did make the list is Guilty Gear Strive. Oh, used to love it, especially the art style. First army fighting game I think I kind of got into. Try to go back to it. Don't really like any of the characters. See, I just kind of stopped playing it, especially after Granblue Fantasy versus Rising came out. This is actually a 2.0 thing, which they sold for money, which is crazy. But first game was pretty good. It was also one of the games that got me into fighting games as well, because it was very easy and very casual friendly, very beginner friendly. And it still is, and this is so much fun. The only reason I've stopped playing Rising is because Tekken 8 came out. But I think this game is still a solid A tier. I wouldn't put it S tier. That's reserved for Tekken. Just imagine, you know, Tekken 8 is up there. But Granblue Fantasy versus Rising, I'm gonna say the full name every time, I swear to God, is a solid A tier. And if you want to get into anime fighting games, I think that is a great way to get into it. Now, talking about anime fighting games, there's Elden Ring last year. Was it last year when it came out? The year before. Whatever. I played through the whole game, and I was kinda... didn't actually quite like it. The open world just didn't add anything to it for me. I came to the realization that I much prefer the older games like Dark Souls 3 and stuff, especially because of the level design, which of course FromSoft is very well known for. And whenever you play the legacy dungeons like the castle, the academy, and especially at the end the city of Leyndell or something, that's where you're like, oh my god, yeah, this is what FromSoft does. Like, they make amazing levels. These fucking IKEA, like 3D IKEA fucking puzzles of levels. I love it. And that just got completely lost with the open world aspect. But then I was like, no way, there's no way I think Elden Ring is bad, right? Because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So I said to my chat, okay, if I get a new PC and I can run this game at like 120 FPS, like better, you know, more enjoyable experience, maybe they'll change, because I was locked at 60 FPS at the time. So I did replay the game when I got my new PC. Still same. There's no way I'm putting Elden Ring in D tier. Okay, no. I'm gonna put Yakuza in D tier and I put Elden Ring in C tier, okay? Well, let's keep the Souls-like train going with Lies of P, whatever you call it. I've only played the demo. Once again, video is on YouTube. People loved it. When I played it the first time, I didn't have any, you know, there was no social media yet, there was like nothing about the game, like no reviews and whatever, blah, 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 blah. I just played it on my own. And I just never got it. I was like, okay, am I supposed to dodge? Am I supposed to parry? Like, I didn't see what I was supposed to do. So I'm thinking like maybe if I replay the game now that like it could kind of figure it out, maybe I can like it. But then I realized every single person that was praising this game, they were all like hardcore Bloodborne fans. All of them. I never played Bloodborne.
What? No, alright. I know that sounds bad.
So for me, the game just didn't make sense, it didn't play well, it's too clunky, didn't like it. Enough negativity from now, okay? I'm sure at this point people are like, oh, he's just, fucking putting this game so low just to like, get clicks. Bro, this video is getting no views. Calm down. I'm selling out to absolutely no one. This is just my opinion. I'm sorry it's not the same as, like, everybody. But guess what? We are putting Dragon's Dogma. Ooh. I want to put it in S tier. This game surprised me so much. I thought this was an MMO. But then I played it, of course. It's not an MMO. It's a single-player MMORPG, pretty much. Really cool. Love the combat. I mean, it's made by Capcom, people who made Monster Hunter. But the problem is, here's the problem. I want to put it in S tier, but bro, obviously I'm going to compare it to fucking Baldurs Gate. Like, is it as good as Baldurs Gate? Of course not. Of course, it's also like an 11-year-old game. But I do think it deserves S tier. Haven't finished it yet, but my god, what a unique and just satisfying experience. And I just can't wait for the second one, which is gonna arrive in about 2 months. Meteor Maker was, is not dead yet, is the second game made by Behavior Studios? Behavior something? People who made Dead by Daylight. I played the beta. Once again, video is on the channel. Liked it, but once again, I couldn't see like the longevity in it. And I think if I would have played it for longer, if I would have bought it and actually played it, because I only played the beta, I think it would have like fizzled out the same way, like, Diablo, Cult of the Lamb, Fortnite, all of these just kind of fizzle out. So I'm just gonna put it at a C tier. It's okay, it's fun. Legends of Runeterra. Oh my god. They didn't completely get shafted in, the Riot Forge fucking dismantling and the layoffs. But it got hit, and it keeps getting hit, and it's sad to see, because Runeterra is is the best digital card game out there, for sure. I gotta sneeze. I wanna put this game in S tier, but I do think it doesn't deserve it. But also, I think it's better than League, and League is already in A tier. You know what? Fuck it. Let's be opinionated as fuck, and just put it in S tier. Of course! Of course, Legend of Runeterra is not on the same level as Baldur's Gate 3, but to me, it deserves S tier. It deserves everything. And another game that deserves everything, but just doesn't get it, is Heroes of the Storm. Made a little no-script video on this as well on the second channel. I don't think... Okay, I'm not gonna put it in S tier. I love this game, like, to death. I think it's better than League of Legends. It's just not supported. You know what? Fuck it. I'll put them in the same tier. They both have like their strengths. Heroes of the Storm has that very casual aspect. Crazy characters that do like insane stuff. Then League is more, the more calculated, the more competitive side of things. Now Dark Knight, I don't know what you've heard. On launch, I think it had some like technical issues. Then people kinda got tired of it pretty quickly, I think. But then the updates have been pretty nice. This is a great game. This is actually, I'm gonna put Dark Knight in S tier. Yeah, no joke. I'm gonna put Dark Knight in S tier. With or without friends, I've been enjoying this so much. It's kind of daunting to get into a co-op game, like, where people don't use voice chat, really. But it works. It's fine. The leveling is satisfying. The new skill trees are amazing. There's different builds. Is it, like, perfect? Fuck no. Oh my god. So much can be improved. But if you're looking for that style of game, that is for sure the best thing you'll find. I think it's better than Vermintide 2. I said it. Now, another game that gets a lot of hate and doesn't actually deserve it, I think, is Skylines II. I love this game. Now, a lot of people had performance issues with this game, which I think they kind of fixed it, but like not all of it. I didn't. I have a beef PC, right? So that's fine. So my experience might have been a little different than yours. If you compare it to the first game, it is lacking in a lot of things. Obviously, because that game had 8 years worth of DLC, whereas this game is just a great baseline. I don't think I should put a great baseline on A though. The game is great, it's basic, it's nice, it's got some things there. But definitely, it's like a game where you want to see where it's going. I can see myself coming back to this game in like 4 years with all the DLCs, all the updates, and it's just being... Oh, I forgot a Souls-like. It's not a Souls-like, it's just a FromSoft game. The Armored Core, Pirates of Rubicon. Haven't finished this game. Kinda slipped through the cracks where like, I was playing this game, and then it just, ended up not playing it. Kinda the same like Diablo and Fortnite. I wanna like it. I do like it. But I feel like it could have gone nicher. When you hear this talk of the old Armored Core, I've never played any of the old ones. When you hear talk of it, they're like so crazy. Maybe I gotta like, play more of the end game, I don't know, but it's I was hoping for something like crazier, something like almost a fighting game to like learn and like get into. But I do think it's actually better than Elden Ring for sure. So let's put it in B. I think B is actually a very nice place for this game. Mecha Belly might actually be the first game people might not have heard about, just like Potion Craft. I think the other ones are pretty famous. This is like Total War without the thinking, and that is exactly what I wanted. I always like playing Total War, as in I set up my team, and then I just like want to see the war unfold, and like zoom in and get in there. Which of course is not the case. You gotta like, manage it in real time. Whereas this game is pretty much like, okay, place your guys down, attack, and then depending on the opponent, every turn, you can add stuff and like try to counter them. Very fun game. Haven't been able to play it all that much as of lately. Also, I do think the graphics are like not as impactful, like the art style. It just doesn't really kind of like zoom in that much. It's not as, as visceral as Total War games. Of course, different budget, I assume. You know what? I'm gonna give it A. I think it deserves A for what it is. Yeah, very fun game. If you wanna like do something where you just like build a little robot like mecha army, and you just wanna like see it. There you go. Okay, down to our last 3. My god, it's already fucking dark outside at this point. This was gonna be a short video, Tyboo. Kena, the spirits thing, I was super excited about this when it first announced, because it looked gorgeous, right? Like, and it was made by an animation team. And it does look gorgeous, but you can already tell by the tone of my voice that I didn't have a great time with it. I got this game, I think, 1 or 2 years after the actual release. Even on the release, like, nobody talked about it. Like, on the reveal of it, it was, like, everywhere. Like, oh my, look how gorgeous this is. But then on the release, like, nobody really talked about it. And that's just because it's very mid. The game looks gorgeous, don't get me wrong. Like, animations are great. But the game is almost like a PS2 game for children, it's like old school, like imagine Ratchet and Clank without like all the gun variety. It's just like very basic, very meager. I didn't even finish it because I got played out on it so fast. But I do hope we see like more stuff from the studio. But for now, I think it's gonna be a C. I put Lego Fortnite in here because when I was making this tier list, as in like, gathering all the JPEGs and stuff, I was actually like hardcore playing Lego Fortnite with my brother. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can't just, put Fortnite and Lego Fortnite together. Now, we both are not playing it anymore because, you just finish it. I think it's actually no joke. I'm gonna give the exact same rating as Cities Skylines 2. It's got a great base. Oh my god, so great. But we need more. We need more in that game. The building is still very constrictive, or like you gotta like really figure it out. Like movement, like traversing the world is really rough, but that is definitely a gem in the rough there, and I can't wait because I'm obviously gonna update it, and I can't wait for it, to be honest. Finally, last game, which is Satisfactory, and save that game with a reason, because I want to end on a high note, and there's of course S tier. Satisfactory is an easy S tier. If you've never heard of this game, let me quickly tell you what it's about. You get dropped on an alien planet, and you just gotta fucking suck that bad boy dry of all its resources. But of course, how does one man tackle the whole planet? Automation. So yes, this is basically a first-person, like, factory automation builder, and it does it perfectly. It ticks every box that I needed it to tick. First, I actually tried out Factorio, because I was looking for that factory building game because I've heard so much about it. But then that game also comes with like tower defense, and it's like there's like time limits, and nodes can get exhausted, and it's like, oh, stress. No, I just want to like build factories. And this game just does that, and it like sticks to it. You don't deplete nodes, like animals cannot destroy your factories. There's no survival meters, there's no like food. I mean, I guess kind of biofuel in the beginning, like that's kind of like stressy. That's about it. And of course, this year they released Update 8, which made the game switch to Unreal Engine 5. It is still in early access with no, release date as of yet. But it is a game where you can easily sink 1,000 hours in. And there it is, my lovely, lovely tier list of all the games I've played last year. I know this tier list looks wild with Elden Ring and Red Dead at the bottom there. I know, but these were my experiences with the games. Not everybody has the same likes and dislikes. If you don't agree with me, pop in the comments, feed the algorithm, and I'll see you in the next video.